The weekend has come to an end, my hair is crazy, and we have a lot to cover because over the last 3 days I've been out of town, unable to record a video for you all, so I want to get that all covered up in today's video. But before we get into everything that went on this weekend, hello, my name is Ian and welcome into the Transformation series. In the series I talk about my nutrition, my fitness, general mental health, or whatever I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis on our goal to lose 100 pounds and then see where life takes us after that as we're looking to get into the best shape of our life, as I stated for myself at the beginning of the year. So without further ado, let's jump straight into things. Yeah, like I said, 3 days away. Family came down from New York. I live in Virginia for work, so if anybody, like, you can put two and two together there. So we ended up renting an Airbnb about 30 minutes out from where I live up in West Virginia in a pretty spot. Nice and relaxing. I treated this weekend as a very much needed mental health break. Mental health is something that if you're not focusing on it, if you're not focusing on your mind, your body won't fall into place behind that. You really need to set your mind on what you need to do, let your mind take ahead, and let your body follow through for the rest of the journey and what you're dealing with. So I needed that desperately for this weekend, and that is what we did. So that was a double up for the weekend, and of course we got our workouts in and all of that. But I'm going to start with Friday, since that was the first day. Obviously, last day a video went up, which means it was recorded the day before. So Friday for me, nothing too fancy, pretty outdoor workouty for me. So I had I had a tax appointment early in the morning around 10 a.m., that was a definite add to the need for a mental health weekend. I hate taxes, and trust me, when you have 5 different forms from throughout a year and you move states, it's very annoying, especially having to deal with some New York taxes in there too. But with that aside, after that went into work for a few hours, got out of work around 3 o'clock. I was getting to the Airbnb around 4:35, so I had to get a quick workout in. Wasn't able to drive all the way down to the gym. Instead, just did an outdoor walk jog here at the apartment. So did that real quick. Got a good 7,000 steps in all of that, and then went over to the Airbnb, met up with my family, and got everything out of the car, got everything out into the place. Nice little Airbnb cabin in the mountains with a hot tub on the back porch. So very nice there. Definitely a very relaxing spot to be in. And of course, it's always amazing to see family because I don't get to see them too often since we live 6 hours away. And that's not a weekend drive. That's reserved for if they make a trip down, if I make a trip up, if there's a holiday or a party or anything like that. So really nice to see them. We had our dinner, had the rest of our food. But before we get into that, I actually got to talk about food from before I got to the Airbnb. On Friday afternoon, before I did my workout, I had a little burger that I had left over, so lower on the calorie end there. Took away, it was from Buffalo Wild Wings the night before. There was a deal where if you spend a certain amount of money, you can get a free burger and fries. I did that, got the burger and fries, gave the fries to a buddy, and then took the burger home. And the next day I took the bread off of it because that's the most calorie dense part of a burger pretty much. Obviously there's going to be the beef and the cheese and stuff like that, but that's not going to be as calorie dense as bread. I swear bread is a killer for me. So I had 2 slices of my 647 bread left over. It was pretty much the last 2 in the bag, except for the little butt end, but that was like half a piece. So I ended up just making that into a little homemade version of the burger. So not the healthiest thing ever, but it was free food, and I love free food, and something lighter in the evening. I had a little bit of fruit with that. I think I had a banana and a couple blueberries, but that was pretty much all I ate. And then the rest of the day went on. For dinner that night, I'm trying to remember what we had for that dinner. Oh, it was ground beef with rice and mixed greens. For me, that was my dinner. Nothing too fancy, a little hot sauce on the top and some fruit to go along with it. I think I had, again, more blueberries on the plate as well with that. So a really simple, healthy dinner. Shout out to my dad for making meals that were diet friendly for me, which was really nice. It wasn't like obviously all diet friendly, but it was like optional. Like the ground beef was separate from the rest of the meal that they had. And I just put that with some rice and whatever. So that was really nice to have. They had burgers, I think. So yeah, that was our dinner there. After that, did our second workout of that Friday, which was a nice little 55 minute walk, a little over the 45-minute base minimum, But yeah, ended that day on my Apple Watch, no joke, 25,000 steps, because I had done the earlier workouts, or like the Thursday workouts. I'd done a little bit in the morning of that Friday. So technically not 25,000, more like, I don't know, 15, 17,000, somewhere in that range. But yeah, really good active day for Friday. Then just came in, played some cards, hopped in the hot tub, and that was a night for me. So moving on to then Saturday, which was a really fun day. Started off the morning with a bang, some nice breakfast in me, had 2 eggs, a little bit of cheese with those, and then some Oikos Triple Zero with strawberry, blueberries, and banana in that. So a really healthy protein forward breakfast with a little bit of fruit on top of that, which was very, very yummy. And then we went out to State Park. That was basically connected to the Airbnb. It was like a half a mile drive over to that, and did some hiking for the day. We did, I want to say, 3 miles of hiking, roughly an hour and 5 minutes, something along there. One of them was, it was the ridge line hike or whatever, so it was a lot. It was very steep. You got to the top of the ridge, had a really beautiful view through the trees of the mountains and all that area, and then you had to make the descent, which thank God we came up the side of the trail we came up, because the other side looked like a pain to go up. So yeah, we did that trail, and then there's just another trail to fill up our time. A little more flat of a trail. It was a little wet from the rain the past couple days before that, but yeah, ended up with a good, I want to say 10, 12,000 steps on that walk alone, because we were out for so long and obviously doing so much up and down that we got a lot of steps in. So yeah, that was our first workout for the day, and then did not come back straight to the Airbnb, came over to a brewery. My dad likes going to breweries around the area, and they had really good food from the last time we've been in that area. Personally, I didn't drink. Obviously, 1, calories, 2, 75 hard, I can't be drinking. So we ditched a little bit on that and just had some lunch with that, a little bit of a late lunch, which for me was, it's a brewery and barbecue area. So we had, my plate was brisket with a side salad and a little piece of cornbread to go with that. Low calorie, obviously brisket's gonna be high in protein. Obviously, there's a little more fat in a brisket, but stayed away from the super fatty areas and kind of separated those a little bit to make sure I'm not getting in too much fat in it and not too many calories there. But overall, it's not the healthiest meal on the planet, but out of the options that were in front of me, it was one of the healthier I could have gone with. The only other option was a chicken salad, but I'd already had pretty much a salad the night before, and I wasn't really feeling a salad in that moment. And I loved their brisket we had brisket nachos last time I went, like a year ago. My dad ended up getting those. I was jealous. But yeah, ended up having that meal for myself. Did snack on a nacho or two, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, just a bunch of water to go with that. Making sure to get a lot of water in when I'm out of town is kind of hard. We had a whole case of water bottles for 4 people, and 3 of us really drank them, and we were done by Sunday morning. So yeah, came back Saturday, ended up going to going back to the Airbnb, sat in the hot tub for a good half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. I was in there too long. I got out and was a little lightheaded. I'm like, whoa, definitely in there for too long. But yeah, played some more cards and just hung out a little bit before we ended up having dinner for the day, which was a crock-pot chicken recipe. Again, just super high protein with a little bit of rice and lettuce in there. Making bowls were kind of the theme for the weekend, which I'm always super happy with. So had shredded chicken. There were a little bit of bacon bits in there, some cheese, but nothing too crazy. And then had that with some rice and lettuce, obviously. And that was our dinner for the night. And that was all the food for there. And one good thing about being as active as we were, and one good thing about being out with my parents, is that they'll make me get up early, so my sleep schedule is pretty much fixed. Granted, I'm recording right now at 12:30. I just finished watching a Harry Potter movie. Took a bit of a nap earlier, but we'll get to that when we get to today. Obviously, it's Sunday, which is the next day on our checklist. So yeah, moving on to Sunday. Woke up, no breakfast. I woke up a little bit later, around 9 o'clock. We're going to be out of the Airbnb by 10. So a lot of the morning we're just making sure we're getting up and getting out of there. And then, yeah, we got out at 10, went over to the state park again, did another set of hiking. I think we got around 3.5 miles today, which was on 2 of the more flat trails. Granted, it had a little bit of elevation to it, but they're more like bike racing trails, obviously out of season right now. than they are like straight walking trails, but they're really nice to go on. Walking over and through the creeks, walking past and through the nature, which was really good for, again, just the mental health factor of all this, of just breathing in fresh air. You're in a state park, it's clean, it's nice. I swear you could drink that water like it's tap water, purified out of that creek. And yeah, that was a bit of our morning, and then I ended up coming back to the Airbnb as my parents made the drive home to New York. They got home nice and safe, which is great to hear, but the rest of my day then came upon me, because obviously we did our one workout, we still got to do another workout for the day. So came home, took a shower, had some lunch, kind of a late breakfast, early lunch scenario where I hadn't eaten anything yet in the day. So I had pretty much the same meal I had the night before with the shredded chicken recipe, on a bunch of spinach with some hot sauce. And that was our lunch for the day. Granted, with that, I had a big bowl of fruit. I had a banana, 2 kiwis, some blueberries, and a couple strawberries. So making sure I'm getting a lot of vitamins in from those. Granted, they're going to be a little higher in the sugar content because fruits are higher in natural sugars, but still very good to get the fruits in for the day, and it helps me feel cleaner, like I'm eating cleaner, which is super duper nice. So after that, of course, had to get in our second workout of the day. After a little bit, went over to the gym for our pull day. Simple pull day for today, nothing too fancy. Didn't stay there for too long, had to get out before they close. They close at 6 o'clock on Sundays, which is early, but it's a Sunday, I don't blame them. So started out with a lat pull down, pretty normal for me. And then off of that, moving over to the cable, where we spent the rest of our weightlifting section of this workout, which was initially started with some inside hammer curls on the ropes on the cables. And then after that, moving over to a face pull, and then individual bicep curls. The lights just turned off behind me. Individual bicep curls on the cable, starting really low, getting that full stretch and compression. Sure, we'll go with that. Probably not the right word, but we'll go with it. And then after that, ended out our workout with some pullovers. And yeah, that was it for the weightlifting aspect. Of course, as always, I'm going to be me 30 minutes of cardio on the treadmill, 7.5 incline, 2.5 speed. Zip zappity doop, and we're out of the gym. Hit a little bit of the sauna at the end, only about 10-15 minutes. I didn't want to be too sweaty. It was kind of chilly outside, and I forgot an extra shirt because I had to do a buttload of laundry for the day since I was out for the weekend. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are today. I came back from the gym, laid in bed, watched a movie, relaxed for a little bit, did the dishes, did my laundry, folded my laundry, which is really nice for me because I tend to just leave it next to my bed and get sidetracked with things, and then realize at 1 a.m. I'm like, oh, I didn't fold my laundry. We'll do that tomorrow. Forgetting to do it the next day, and yada, yada, yada. So very productive day, very productive weekend. I can definitely say my mental health is 10 times better than it was going into the weekend. Definitely needed that, like much needed getaway. Something I'm probably going to do moving forward if I can, of just driving the half an hour to that state park and going for a hike every now and then to clear my mind. I feel like is a very nice thing to do. So that's going to be a plan moving forward. But yeah, that's where we're sitting at right now. And obviously, we had a couple days go by, day 98, 99, or like 99, 100, 101. One of those two, either way, we hit day 100, which is a big milestone in this journey, because it means we've been committed to the same journey for 100 days, which is a nice round number and a nice way to signify the time we've gone through. Still not even one third of the way through the year, though. We still have a long, long way to go. Still have a lot of progress to be made, but really happy with our progress. I don't think I'm going to do anything special for it. I don't have anything planned for anything special. I think the only thing I'm really going to have planned is like a 6-month check-in / an end of 75 hard, which are going to coincide about a month apart, but either way I want to hit those. Because I feel like those are two very big checkpoints. Obviously, 75 hard is a crazy challenge. I still got to read and go to bed, but I've done everything else throughout the day. And 6 months of progress is half a year dedication. Obviously, not comparable to a full year of dedication, and so on, because we still got to go after that. But still super happy and proud of that milestone. So we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, that's pretty much going to end it up for today's video. This one's obviously a little longer. We'll have our weigh-in tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll see which day is easier for me to get up and record in the morning, depending on my schedule, which I have to check after this. And then we'll get back onto the daily video side of things. Have friends coming in this weekend for, what's the holiday? For Easter. So that'll be super fun to have them in here, and then have friends over again the weekend after. And then after that, we leave to Texas. So a lot coming up, but we'll get there when we get there. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for hopping in, for watching this video, for any takeaways you may have. Thank you for all the support on the channel throughout the last few days, weeks, etc. The support has been amazing. I really do appreciate it. For anybody on a journey of their own watching this, you got it. Keep killing it. You're doing amazing. And thank you if you've mentioned that I gave you some motivation, because that means the world to me. That's the purpose of this series, to give myself motivation. If it motivates other people, then so be it. I'm so proud and so happy with that. But as always, thank you for watching. Do better tomorrow. Make a better version of yourself tomorrow. Do the stinking chores you don't want to do around the house. If you haven't done your taxes, they're due. Do your taxes. They're due Tuesday. Please do your taxes. Don't get in trouble with the IRS. They'll kick your butt. Do anything that's just being annoying around the house, and make sure tomorrow you is happy with the decisions you have made up to that point, and that you are doing better and progressing throughout your life. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.